Hi everybody, welcome to measurement lesson 3. Before we get started, there was a book that I had mentioned when we were together before, and I said it would be a really good book for you guys to listen to or to read. It's called How Big is a Foot, and it is by Rolf Myler. That's Myller. And it's the story. I had mentioned our first measurement lesson about the king that wanted to make a bed for his queen, and he used his feet to measure, and the bed was way too big. It's a good story. It's funny. If you look it up, there's a video on YouTube of somebody reading the book, and then there's also a cartoon somebody made about the book, so that would be good to watch also. All right, so we have talked about why our hands and our feet are not good tools to use for measuring because everyone has different sizes of feet and hands. Then we talked about non-standard measurement, and I said you would hear those words again in first grade. It's where you use the same of something to measure, so it should come out to be the same amount. If I measure with paper clips and Tristan measures with paper clips, we should both get the same answer if we're both measuring a marker. All right. I also said you could use pennies. You could use Legos. Tristan used dice for his activity, which was really cool. Then after that, today's lesson is about standard measurement, where we're going to start to use measurement tools because somebody decided it was finally time that everybody had one thing to use, and they all used the same thing to get the same measurement. So that brings us to the ruler. So we're going to learn how to use the ruler properly. Okay, we've used it in kindergarten before. You guys have played with the rulers often. So the rulers usually have two sets of numbers on them. The one side has large spaces between their numbers. The other side has tiny spaces and a lot more numbers. Okay, that is measuring in a different unit, and we're not going to do that one. We are going to focus on this one, and it measures in what we call inches. Each of these big spaces between the numbers is called an inch. So if you go all the way to the end of the ruler, you'll see a 1 and a 2, which makes the number 12. So a ruler goes up to 12 inches. Okay, we have to say inches because then that tells the person that we're talking to that we're measuring. If we just say 12, it could be 12 apples, it could be 12 degrees, it could be 12 cents. So the other person knows who's talking with us or reading what we're writing, we have to use inches. All right, so how do you do this? Well, you take something that you want to measure. I have a Sharpie marker. So I'm going to put that by my ruler, and I'm going to make sure the edge of my marker lines up with the edge of my ruler. Then you look all the way across to where the Sharpie stops, and it is closest to the number 5. Yes, it goes a little past, but that's okay. For us in kindergarten, we're just going to go with whatever the object is closest to, which is a 5. So I would say the Sharpie is 5. The Sharpie is 5 what? 5 years old, 5 cents, 5 degrees. What are we measuring in? Inches. So the Sharpie is 5 inches long. Right? I have a picture It's a picture of my Jackson. It's a wallet size. I figured a mom or a dad at your house would have a wallet size picture of you somewhere. So if we take the picture and we measure across the picture, again, we want to make sure it's at the edge of our ruler. And I forgot to mention, we're using the edge of our ruler that has a 1, okay? The actual edge would be 0. Usually rulers don't say 0. You just have to know in your head, oh yeah, a 0 is supposed to be there. Okay, if we start with the 12 side, then we're going to say that our picture is 10 inches long. Is that right? No. So we always make sure we start at the side that has a 1. And we start at the edge at the 0. We look across and it is closest to the number 2. So we would say the picture is 2 inches. Okay. So your job for practicing the measuring with a ruler is I want you to go on a hunt around your house and you're going to collect 10 things. 10. Those 10 things need to be smaller than your ruler. Okay? If they're bigger than your ruler, you're not going to be able to measure them too well. For example, I have, well, I'll show you. I am right next to my bed. And if I put the ruler up, you can see that the bed is much bigger than my ruler. Okay, so I cannot measure my bed because it's way bigger. So you need to find 10 things smaller than your ruler that you can practice measuring. Then, like we did the other day, you're going to have mom or dad help you. Okay, your paper is only going to have 2 rows. What you're measuring and the actual measurement. All right. They can help you write inches, or remember how we spell the sight word in? I-N. Yes. That is a shorter way to spell the word inches. So you can actually write I-N with a little period after it, and that would be a shorter way to write inches after your number. Right? So I went around and I looked for things that I thought everybody might have. We already did the picture. I have a paper clip, a marker, the Sharpie, which we already did, an envelope, a DVD, like a movie case, a sticky notepad, a tablet, an iPad, a cell phone, whatever small electronic device you have, and an index card. Okay, so those are the things that I picked to measure. You do not need to make a prediction for this. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. You're just practicing taking your ruler and measuring your different objects. And then instead of drawing a picture of my object, like we did in the previous activity, I wrote my word for my object. So we're going to get a little writing in. Yay, I know, everybody's favorite, right? Yeah. Because we haven't done much writing. At least you haven't done much writing with me. Hopefully you are on your own or with mom and dad. So try to sound out the word that you want to write for your object. For example, envelope's kind of long. Picture. I want to write the word picture. So you say it slowly. Picture. Picture. P is a P. I is an I. K is a C. Ch. Sounds like a CH, right? And then would be an R. There, we just sounded out picture. Okay, so we're writing how it sounds to us. Okay, so 10 things smaller than your ruler. Make sure you're taking your ruler and you're putting the edge of the object at the edge of your ruler, the side that it has the 1, but you're really putting it at that imaginary 0 that's there. Okay, if you just put it in the middle of your ruler, this is telling me my marker is 9 inches. Way too big. I didn't start at the edge. Also, if I start at the 1, where's my 1? There's my 1. If I start at the 1, that's telling me my marker is 6 inches, which would be the wrong answer. And I have all this extra little space over here where nothing is. So that's not going to be the right measurement either. You always want to put the edge of your object at the edge of your ruler where the imaginary 0 is. Okay? Okay. I think we got it. Now you need to practice. Have mom or dad take a picture of what you measure or your paper. Show me what you're doing. That would be great. And then next time we're going to work on using a yardstick and comparing that to a ruler. All right, don't forget inches, or you can use our IN with a little period to abbreviate inches. All right, awesome job. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.